Hey y'all, welcome to this week's episode of Is This Okay? Where we talk about things that are happening in the world, wondering if it's okay. I'm Nyla.
I'm Daisha.
I'm Chris.
I'm Nick.
I'm Claudia. Yay, welcome guys. Woo!
This week, our topic of discussion is whitewashing in Hollywood. The other night, I saw Kubo and the Two Strings. And so it's this beautiful film about a Japanese family. And for whatever reason, I just had this itch where I was like, I gotta check and see who the voices are out of the 5 main characters.
George Takei was the only one.
Yeah, was
right?
the only one who was Asian.
You kind of wonder why none of the 8 people in the movie were actually Japanese.
This has been happening for a very long time because we've seen it with Emma Stone, Still Remember You, Tilda Swinton as the Ancient One, and Scarlett Johansson as Ghost in the Shell.
There's also this argument that, well, these white actors are just more talented. And I think that that's the argument that really irks me.
It's so insulting.
Let's say that they've gotten more training or more schooling, so that thus makes them more talented. Why haven't we as a society said that, like, oh, well, there's this whole other group of people that aren't getting the training that they need to be able to compete on the same level. Let's figure out how to fix that.
This is all the funny actors we know, and they just all happen to be white and male. And it's like, well, you're pulling from a comedy school that needs like a certain level of socioeconomic status to be able to succeed in.
And also from cultures that don't encourage going into that industry.
Right. And then when you are very set on a certain type of comedy too, you're not gonna get the Leslie Joneses. Like, you're not used to that type of comedy. Stars can be made, stars can be built, and studios have to commit to finding those people.
I also just think about it in terms of like being a Black woman and how I could never depict a story for like as a white person. Like, that's just not my story to tell.
Can we talk about Fresh Off the Boat? And all these shows are about the struggle of this specific type of ethnicity. I really want to have a Black family that's not about being Black also. A show where the emotions are universal, not specific to a niche.
I think I get what you're saying, but I also think like when you are a person of color, your color comes with you no matter what. When you are white, you have the option to either address it or to not address it.
Well, see, that seems like the goal to me, right?
Yeah.
Is to have the option. You can still, if you make a movie about slavery, you've got to talk about racism.
Mm-hmm.
If you make a movie, like a science fiction movie with Will Smith and his son, awesome example, you don't have to talk about it because that's not what they're dealing with.
No, and see, so I think context is key. So it's like if you have a sci-fi movie and it's just you happen to have a Black lead, that's totally fine. Like, you don't necessarily have to delve into that. But it's like if you have a show dealing with a Black family life, like, that kind of thing, I think that it would be
watering it down.
Yeah, like it just wouldn't be true to the experience of like my everyday life.
If you're like deep diving into like someone's or a group's experience in terms of like a movie or a TV show, I think it would look a little bit more strange to like not talk about those issues or those struggles. But like, I also think that what you're trying to say, there are plenty of spaces and we need more spaces where like we're just allowed to be happy.
Just exist.
Ideally, you get representation for both. You get something that is just centered around a certain struggle and like why there needs to be a spotlight on a certain thing, and you get the film that's just like a beautiful rom-com where like the lead is a Black man or the lead is like a Latina woman, and I guess that's Hitch pretty much.
Right.
We got it, we did it, we fixed Hollywood.
Only one. I do think that Hollywood definitely exploits that. So we have the struggle film where it's just kind of like, oh, like Tyrone who grew up in the hood, but he sold drugs to get out.
And like his baby mom.
And I think that that's just a storyline that Hollywood's like, oh, it sold once, like during the blaxploitation era, so we'll just keep repeating it over and over and over again. And I think it goes back to that point that was brought up last week, is that like money is kind of power. So it's like we have to be thinking about like when we do watch those films and whatnot, like what are we telling Hollywood executives that we're willing to invest in?
What's interesting also is that most movies other than comedies, most movies make their real revenue internationally. And ones that have international looking stars do better. That's why The Rock is the biggest star right now.
Unfortunately, I think there's so much truth in that, but then it takes people in power, like literally just making good moral decisions that like help other people, and it's like, how do you tell that to somebody when all they see is dollar signs?
Nick, I have a question for you as an actor. If a studio tomorrow was like, hey, we have this really big blockbuster film, we've seen your work, we love it, but we want you to play X race.
We want you to
we're
play
really
samurai.
putting him on the hot seat. I'm so nervous right now.
No judgment. Don't
Thank
feel,
you very much.
no judgment.
And I just to be fair, before you answer, if I can offer any support, like I have struggled with that idea too, in the sense of like, if out of nowhere I was offered like a role in a Woody Allen film, like, and that was my big break, and I have all these thoughts of like, I do not know what that is about, and I do judge actors that take roles in that, but I also don't know their circumstance. Like, it's a really tricky question.
It's a weird thing. As an actor, you get used to not turning down roles, especially if you're an aspiring actor. So if I or anybody else that I know is offered a role that they think they can do something with, then yeah, I think they should take it. I don't like shaming actors that apologize afterwards.
But I think part of it is like the authenticity of the apology and feeling like, you know, this person is actually learning from their mistakes.
I see a lot of people that fuck up make apologies that like, I really hope that this sparks more conversation about the issue, and I'm like, we've been talking about this. Like, there are no cookies for you for like making everybody pissed about this.
Whenever I see those apologies, I'm like, would that fly with like your husband or wife?
All of this is why I am participating so heavily in new media, because I think like this new media has become like a very blooming space for people of color to tell their stories, because it's all in their own terms.
So I think we've come down to a conclusion that whitewashing is a real thing, and it's just not cool.
It's not okay.
Yeah.
It's not okay.
It's not okay. So leave your comments below, and we will see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.